IronCAD represents a fundamentally better way to design in 3D. If you're new to CAD software, it's a lot easier to learn, and if you're an existing CAD user, it's so much faster and more flexible than traditional 3D CAD systems. IronCAD's advantage starts with letting you design in 3D from the beginning. You can skip the traditional steps of creating a plane, creating a sketch on that plane, and then creating a feature or extrude from that sketch. IronCAD has a range of predefined shapes which you can simply drag and drop out. You can then push and pull them to make precise changes in seconds. These shapes are features in disguise. They still have cross-sections and feature types which can be edited anytime. You can also save custom shapes and make your own custom catalogs with a simple drag and drop. This method is faster, easier to understand, and you get to skip the boring steps. These shapes and catalogs also have more advanced functionality built in, which we'll cover later in the video. You may have noticed we are designing multiple parts in the one file. IronCAD has a unified design environment, so you can design as many parts as you like in the same file. This, of course, makes file management a lot easier when compared to the traditional idea of having many individual files, but the advantages don't stop there. You're designing within the context of the assembly, which is a more natural way of thinking about your design. You can snap to existing parts, and everything fits perfectly first time. You can also largely skip the mating and constraining process from traditional CAD software. Traditionally, you would make every part individually, then at the end, bring them into an assembly and mate and constrain them all together. In IronCAD, they're already in the right place, so there's no need to do this. Then if you have moving parts, you can simply apply the movement constraints to those parts. All other constraints can be skipped. Anyone who's constrained a large assembly in a traditional CAD system before will know how much time IronCAD saves here. Then when it comes to 2D drawings, you can create all your individual part drawings from the one 3D file. We can select the parts for the individual drawings, or even use our bulk drawing creation tool, which will automatically place predefined views and create new drawing sheets for each part and assembly. And of course, when making changes to any part in 3D, the 2D drawings will be automatically updated for you. It's worth noting that if needed, you can still save parts and assemblies externally and individually. For example, if you have multiple areas of your organization using the same part and you want any changes to update everyone's model at once. This can be done at a part or assembly level, so it's easy to control and easy to set up. The part can still be edited in that one file, it's just saved externally and will update other models as well. Overall, IronCAD makes file management and collaboration much easier than traditional software. Another big advantage of IronCAD is the flexibility to make major design changes at any time, including late in the design process. Traditional software is history dependent, so features are dependent on other items above or below them in the history tree. This makes it difficult to make late design changes, and also results in these other systems often having history tree crashes, which you may be familiar with. IronCAD features are independent, so they can be moved up and down the history tree easily. This makes design changes easy because you don't have to worry about the design intent from earlier in the model. IronCAD lets you choose when and where you'd like to use design intent. This provides better control over your design and means changes that may have taken hours before can be done in minutes. This feature independency also makes it easier to reuse features and models. You can drop them into a catalog and then drag them into other parts and assemblies, where they can be customized to suit the new model as if they were made there in the first place. Now let's look at imported geometry from other systems. In traditional systems, imported geometry is often hard to edit and reuse. In IronCAD, we have a range of direct editing tools which make this fast and intuitive. You can delete items like holes or blends, and directly push and pull faces, controlling them by snapping to existing geometry or typing in precise values. You can directly reposition faces using the triball, and IronCAD will find the best way to accommodate your change. You can select faces and convert them into IntelliShapes, which have cross-sections that can be edited anytime. IronCAD will automatically detect features that look like they should be in a pattern and link the shapes for you. Of course, they can be unlinked anytime if needed. When direct editing certain features, IronCAD will also use the surrounding geometry to help understand the changes you're trying to make. Whilst these tools are specifically useful for imported geometry, you can also still use the catalog shapes on imported geometry as well. Now that you've seen an overview, let's show you a few more details. Like many other tools in IronCAD, the sheet metal tools are drag and drop, made to be extremely fast and easy to learn. You can push and pull on sheet metal features to adjust them, use specific sheet metal tools like the miter tool, and still use other IronCAD features like the catalogs and the triball. Sheet metal parts can be unfolded at any time and exported for production with their bend lines. This can be done in both of IronCAD's drawing environments, the Paperspace ICD environment, and the IronCAD Draft environment. As usual, any changes in 3D will automatically update any 2D drawings. This is the triball. It's a patented tool that IronCAD has developed for over a decade. It's won numerous industry awards and can do just about any positioning or copying function, all in just a few clicks and the whole time keeping you in 3D. The triball often replaces the need for reference planes, positioning constraints, and patterning tools all in one. It can be used with shapes, parts, assemblies, and more, and can save hours upon hours of design time when compared to doing the same thing in a traditional system. Here we have a parameterized model, which is driven by push and pull handles at the assembly level. Instead of editing a table of figures like in traditional CAD software, IronCAD can drive these parameters from handles created on the assembly. Every part in the assembly is being automatically resized and repositioned based on the size we choose on the overall assembly. This creates a range of opportunities for parameter-based design and makes it easy enough that just about anyone can use it. Earlier we mentioned that catalogs and shapes can have more advanced functionality built in. Here's a catalogue of robot parts, which when drag and dropped onto each other, automatically position and constrain themselves with predefined movement. IronCAD's attachment points act as magnets, which align and position the geometry when it is dropped near them. Another catalogue here is filled with modular cart components. It contains both parts and assemblies, which automatically snap into their exact location and can be swapped in and out in seconds. This functionality can be used throughout IronCAD products, so you can make a catalogue in IronCAD and then send it to someone using the free Compose Viewer or iPad app. They can customize it, make annotations, then send it back to you to finalize in the full IronCAD. This just scrapes the surface of IronCAD's capability.